All right, folks, welcome back. Continuing coverage of tonight's Indiana primary. It's over on the Republican side. Donald Trump, the projected winner by just about everybody. And the vote at this point, because the key question is how much and how many delegates. Well, right now with 15% of the vote reporting, Donald Trump is predicted, well, as I said, to win. He has 54% to Cruz's 35 and 9 for John Kasich, who he still sees the road to victory. John Kasich, he's going to be the president. Remember, on the Democrat side, it is too close to call. We now have a just about a dead heat, 50.3% for Clinton and 49.7% for Bernie Sanders. So very, very interesting. Now, I just want to go to a soundbite, and then we'll be joined by John Zogby, pollster, of course, of Zogby Polls and CEO of Zogby Analytics. But let's listen to some of Donald Trump earlier.
I've never seen a guy lie like this. I've never seen, he even said, Donald Trump will not build the wall. He said he's not going to build the wall, not build the wall. We are building the wall, but I got this guy, Cruz, lying Ted. Donald Trump has said he is not going to build the wall. I think he's crazy. Honestly, I think he's crazy. Lion Ted does not have the temperament to be doing this. He is choking like a dog because he's losing so badly.
All right, so let's say hello to John Zogby. And by the way, we welcome your phone calls at 877 Newsmax. Hello, John.
Hey, Steve. Listening to that, I wonder if Lin-Manuel is going to do the next play about Trump, the one that's so successful on Hamilton.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're referring to the Broadway play that got all the the Tony nominations today. Yeah. Well, interesting. You know, look, here, after the last victory or two victories ago, there was a lot of talk about presidential Donald Trump because he said Senator Cruz, Governor Kasich in his victory chat. I won't call it a speech. And then it's gone away. So this is like yesterday at an event. Today, this morning, he talked about Ted Cruz's father. The National Enquirer report with the supposed connection between Cruz's father and the assassination of JFK, which we had Roger Stone already weigh in on at the top of this show, and yet, doesn't have any negative effect on Donald Trump in Indiana.
No, in fact, it has a positive effect on him. It's obviously working for him, and so why not continue it? Voters went to the polls today, the Republican voters, and they said that they were, at the very least, dissatisfied with the federal government. At worst, they were angry with the federal government. They wanted an outsider. That has tracked with all the other races where Donald Trump has won. And so, figuring if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Besides, why not watch the other guys get unhinged? Kasich, as you've pointed out, is not going anywhere. But Ted Cruz showed a side of him today that was not flattering. Let's just put it that way.
And for the networks, the cable networks, to run the full rant over and over and over again of Cruz attacking Trump. He was just all over the place. And I got to tell you, the act of desperation, John, really started, in my view, with the Carly Fiorina pick, if you will, which has been a bust. Just as many people say they were, in the poll that I saw, less likely to support him after he picked her, as they say were more likely to support her. A bunch of people had no opinion. It was a non-event.
It was a non-event. It was the wrong time for the wrong event as well, because she brought nothing to the table for Indiana. She has one delegate. At an earlier time when things were up in the air, a bunch of candidates still in the race, it may have been more of a moment, maybe. But in retrospect, and look, I was a doubter, continue to be a doubter about Donald Trump for the longest time, but the nomination is just in the cards for him.
All right, so let me ask you this: you say continue to be a doubter. Now you mean in the national, in the general election?
I had continued to be a doubter. No, I'm not ruling anything out for the general election. I think that Hillary Clinton is a damaged candidate, and it's not so much the email process. I think it's mainly email content. I think everybody's going to be, Trump is going to be all over the Clinton Foundation. and that's going to be a nasty one.
Yeah.
But I think the other problem that she has is, I think she's treating Bernie Sanders like a sister soldier. Hey, just ignore him. Why isn't he going to drop out? Why isn't he a team player, and so on? Misunderstanding that she really needs Bernie Sanders a whole lot more than Bernie Sanders needs her going into the general election. She does very, very badly with young voters, and if they don't show up to vote, and they may not, unless Bernie Sanders and Barack Obama suggest that they should vote for her, she could lose. Let's put it that way. She could lose.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, let's take some calls. A lot of people want to speak to, I'm sure mainly you, Mr. Zogby. They could talk to me any old time. 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. And let's first go to Antioch, Illinois. I hope I said it right. Gary is there. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir? Say hello to John Zogby as well.
I am good. I have to say you are a breath of fresh air with Newsmax.
Thank you.
I'm 55 years old, and of course I've grown up through the Carter, Reagan, the Bush, the Clinton, the Bush, the Obama now. So there's a lot of history, you know what I'm saying? And for instance, what Trump said today in particular, to me, there's a lot of hidden history secretly.
Are you talking about the Inquirer story he referred to about Ted Cruz's father?
Yeah,
okay. I just want to know what you're referring to.
There's a lot of hidden history out there that people don't know about, but more and more people are finding out. Now, you can't believe everything you hear, but when you see documentation, if you see video footage, which is old movie footage now, whatever, when it comes to hidden history, that changes the whole ballgame. Why do you think they want to regulate the internet? Because there's too much information out there for people to stop and go, oh my God, I'm waking up.
All right. Let's try to stay a little bit on topic though. So let me ask John on your behalf, or I'll ask him, and maybe you'd be interested in the answer too. John, this Trump thing with the Inquirer story, Cruz's father. Roger Stone at the beginning said that this picture comes from the National Archives of the Warren Commission, I believe he said, and that they have to show that it's not him. Because Stone said it looks like him to me. I mean, is Trump going to continue with this? And if he does that hurt him in any way?
I don't think he'll continue with it simply because I think he's put the Cruz candidacy to rest tonight. I don't see where Ted Cruz goes from here. If Trump continues with it, that comes under the beating the dead horse column, and I don't see where it gains him much of anything. He's got to focus now on putting together his coalition for the fall.
Hey, Gary, great to talk to you, sir. Thanks for the kind words. Please keep watching and call again. Tell your friends. Let's go now to Charlesdale, Mississippi, and say hello to Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to say hello to Mr. Zogby as well.
Zogby, that's okay. Go ahead.
Hi, how are
I'd
you?
like to make a couple of comments. This is about the Kennedy assassination thing. Ted Cruz is a master at twisting words. Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, did not say that Ted Cruz's father was involved with the Kennedy assassination. That picture that came from the Warren Commission, the first time I saw that on the internet was right after Cruz announced his candidacy for president. How many months ago was that? And it mysteriously died. That is Ted Cruz's father with Lee Harvey Oswald in the French Quarter in New Orleans passing out pro-Castro pamphlets, fair play for Cuba. It is his father. Trump did not accuse Cruz's father of being in on the assassination, but he cannot deny the fact that is his father in the picture.
Well, Charlie, he can deny it, and I don't know that he has denied it. He's referred to the story by calling this story all kinds of names. I don't know if he's actually said that was not my father. But go to number two, because we're getting a little off the track here. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, you said number two.
He's not going to say that it's not his father because he can't say that it's not his father.
All right. What do you say, John?
Let's
go, Charlie. Let's hear what John has to say. Go ahead, John.
Well, I'm assuming that the picture is authentic. What I don't know is what the picture is of, because what I know of Lee Harvey Oswald, it was fair play for Cuba one moment, and then it was anti-Castro another moment. So I mean, I have no idea, but I assume that the Inquirer would not put out a fake picture, that it is Ted Cruz's father, it is Lee Harvey Oswald. What's he doing with Lee Harvey Oswald? It's probably a very good question, isn't it?
All right. You know what, Charlie, you made a good point. Thank you very much. I want to go to Lois from Gary, Texas, real quick. Hello, Lois.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, fine. Hey, I started out being a Cruz supporter, but I didn't last long. I'm a Trump supporter, and Trump's going to be our next president, so everybody might as well learn to accept it. And what do you think Cruz's dad went to Canada for? What was he running from?
All right, Lois. I appreciate the call. Thank you very much. John, closing thoughts? It's over. What about on the Democrat side? Does it matter if Sanders wins tonight? We got 30
sure
seconds.
It does. Oh, yeah, no, it's sure it matters if he wins. What it means is that almost half of Democrats, particularly young Democrats, have some serious questions about Hillary. If Sanders wins West Virginia, goes on, wins California,
right?
Some of those super delegates start scratching their heads, huh?
Interesting. Very interesting. John Zogby, always great to talk to you, so thank you very much. Up next, we continue with our coverage, more of your calls. Don't go away.